After a 4-1 Game 1 victory, Virginia and Columbia right back to action for Game 2 as the Hoos look for a doubleheader sweep this afternoon. Turned evening in Charlottesville. Hi again, folks. Welcome back to Davenport Field at Disharoon Park. Channing Poole with you once again as we bring you the Hoos and the Lions. Cavaliers getting some exceptional pitching from the tandem of Nick Parker and Jake Berry in Game 1. And now Brian Edgington will take the ball for Virginia in Game 2 to try and pitch the Hoos to a 6-0 start. Columbia 0-1 as earlier today marked their first game of the season, while Virginia sitting now at 5-0, off to a 5-0 start for the 9th time in Brian O'Connor's 20 seasons at the helm. As we are moments away from first pitch, let's run through the batting order for Columbia as put together by their now 18th-year head coach, Brett Beretti. Very similar to Game 1 with really just one personnel change, and that is behind the plate. Leading off and playing left field is Cole Hage with Andy Blake, the shortstop, batting second. Seth Dardar, the first baseman, hits third with Hayden Schott in right field. Schott will bat cleanup. Anton Lazitz, the third baseman, hits in the 5 spot with E.J. Krutzman, the designated hitter, batting 6th. Sky Zelensky is in the 7th spot, once again playing center field. The lone change is in the 8th spot. Miles Blackwell gets the start behind the plate. Sophomore will do the catching. And Jack Cale once again at second base, batting 9th to round out the order for the Columbia Lions. Again, the top third goes Hage, Blake, Dardar. Middle third, Schott, Lazitz, Krutzman. And the bottom third of Zelensky, Blackwell, and Cale. And that lineup is all against Virginia's Brian Edgington. The grad transfer right-hander from Elon makes the start. Edgington, who went 4 1/3 innings in the win over Navy last Friday, allowed 5 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. He did not walk a batter, and he struck out 3. And he took the win in that 24-5 victory over the midshipmen. Now he faces off against the Columbia Lions. And Edgington facing Cole Hage to get this thing underway. And the pitch on the way is swung on and fouled off. A 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Edgington to open up the ball game. We are underway at 5:22 this early evening on grounds. 56 degrees under cloudy skies. The light banks turned on for Game 2 of the doubleheader and the series. The 0-1 now to Hage. It's a fastball a little bit low. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Edgington, 6 foot tall, 200-pound righty. And transfer from Elon. Hatboro, Pennsylvania native, wears number 36 for the Hoos. And the right-hander back into the windup, his 1-1 to Hage. Down and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Hage had an 0 for 4 in Game 1, struck out a pair of times. Right-hand hitting left fielder for Columbia. A first-team all-conference selection last year after hitting .335. The 2-1 pitch now from Edgington. Righty kicks and deals. Swung on, lifted out towards right center field and well tagged. Racing back on an O'Donnell, the center fielder, and that ball is going to get out of here. A solo home run for Cole Hage, and he wastes no time in putting Columbia on the scoreboard. A leadoff home run to the opposite field. And in fact, this marks the first time in 2023 that Virginia has trailed in a game. And it comes on the first batter of the ball game. Hage has Columbia's first home run of the season. A solo shot on a fastball over the outer part of the plate that he just took that direction. And very quickly, it is 1-0 in favor of the Lions. Next pitch down, 1 ball, no strikes. Columbia were limited in Game 1 to just 6 hits. 5 of the 6 were singles. 1-0 pitch to Blake. A little bit low, 2 balls, no strikes. Virginia, meanwhile, was limited to just 5 hits in the ball game. One of those 5 was a solo home run from Kyle Teal. But Hage, who had 6 homers last year, as his first of 2023. Now the 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball flips in for a strike. 2-1 the count to Andy Blake, senior shortstop. Had a 1 for 4 in Game 1 with a run scored. Deep breath from Edgington, and the 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball for strike 2 called. 93-mile-an-hour fastball, about letter high. So 2-2 the count. Righty against righty is Edgington in search of the first out of the ball game. And he winds and delivers. Swing and a foul tip, but caught by Teal. And that is out number 1. So Blake is retired. And Edgington bounces back after the solo homer to the tune of a swinging strikeout. And there's one away. Defensively for Virginia this evening, Kyle Teal, the catcher and battery mate for Brian Edgington. Infield third to first has Jake Geloff at third. Griff O'Farrell, the shortstop. Henry Godbout gets the start at second base for this game, and Ethan Anderson is at first base for Virginia. Seth Dardar, the batter now. Left-hand hitter fouls the first pitch into the on-deck circle where it's caught by Hayden Schott, and the count is 0-1. Around the outfield left to right, Harrison Didowick in left field. Ethan O'Donnell, the center fielder. And Casey Sauke is in right field to complete the Virginia defense. One out, base is empty already, 1-0 Columbia on the solo home run from leadoff hitter Cole Hage. Next one swung on, grounded right side, and that is through for a base hit. In the 3-4 hole on the right side of the infield, Dardar has a base hit. So Dardar, his second hit over the course of today's doubleheader after going 1 for 3 in game 1. And now Hayden Schott will be the batter. Virginia is still the home whites, but different uniform look now with Virginia in block letters across the chest of the pinstripe uniform. Fastball from Edgington in there for a strike. Yeah, Virginia, the blue caps that have the white front quadrant with that outline V-saber on the front of the cap as well. So the white pinstripe looks for game 2. The 0-1 instead of spinning a look over to first and diving back in goes the base runner Dardar. Columbia, meanwhile, now switches to the navy blue uniform tops with the big block C on the left side of the jersey. That Columbia blue. Again, navy blue caps with the Columbia blue C on the front. 0-1 fouled back and out of play. And the count 0-2 on Hayden Schott. 2 for 4 with a double in game 1. He was the only player on the Columbia side of things to register a multi-hit game. Virginia's Ethan Anderson did the same on the Virginia side of things. Now the 0-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball right side. Godbout dives, but it's out of his reach and into right field for a base hit. And the third hit of the inning for the Lions.
Batting for Columbia, third baseman number 15, Anton Lazitz.
I'll see if Edgington can settle down now, as Anton Lazitz will be the batter. Talked about it a lot in game 1, but Columbia returns a lot of offense from last year's NCAA tournament team. Guys like Hayden Schott and Cole Hage. And the man coming to the plate, Anton Lazitz, a .314 hitter a season ago. Righty against righty, the pitch from Edgington. Fastball misses high. 1 ball and no strikes. Virginia, again, 4-1 winners in game 1. Benefited as well from 3 Columbia errors in that game. And a couple of unearned runs tagged to Columbia pitchers. The 1-0 pitch. That misses upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Keep in mind, this Columbia team didn't just make it to the NCAA Regional. They were a 3 seed in the tournament and won a couple of games. Swing and a miss. Elevated fastball, and Lazitz helped him out there. What looked to be just up and out of the zone. Either way, 2 balls and a strike. Columbia beat Gonzaga, the number 2 seed, twice in last year's NCAA Blacksburg Regional. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up, foul ground right side, and looks as though it will get out of play, and it does. In about the fourth row of seats behind home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count now on Lazitz. Columbia 1, Virginia nothing, top of the first. On a solo homer from Cole Hage to put Columbia in front. Now the 2-2 pitch from Edgington. A look back to second. Now to the plate. Swing and a miss. He got him with a slider. Running off the outside corner, and Lazitz is down on strikes. Well, Edgington has allowed 3 hits, but he's also recorded 2 outs, and both of those outs have come by way of the strikeout. Virginia pitching 12 strikeouts in game 1, 6 apiece for Nick Parker, the starter, who got the win, and Jake Berry, who got the save. That'll bring E.J. Krutzman to the plate now, left-hand hitting designated hitter. And the pitch. Check swing and a ball down and out of the zone. And 1 ball, no strikes. Kyle Teal out from behind home plate to set the defensive alignment. 1-0 the count to Krutzman, who went 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts in game 1. Now the 1-0 from Edgington is a fastball in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Again, Cole Hage, the leadoff man of the inning, launched a ball beyond the right center field wall for a solo homer, and Columbia leads 1-0. The Lions threatening for more, and Edgington trying to limit the damage at just that 1 run. The 1-1. Fouled away to the left side. Stopped by the protective netting atop Virginia's dugout off of that third base line. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Edgington now ahead in the count on the left-hand hitting Krutzman. Krutzman, 3 homers, 25 driven in last year. For Columbia. Next pitch bounced in and he lays off. And that'll even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Krutzman from San Diego and La Jolla Country Day School. 5'10" left-handed hitter. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. And the 2-2 from Edgington. Thought about it, did not offer. They will check at third, but no swing, confirms Jeff Doy. Well, that will run the count full, and that also means that both base runners will get a head start. Dardar from second, shot from first. They will both be running on the pitch. And a payoff pitch to come from the right-hander Brian Edgington. Takes a big, deep breath. Now ready with the payoff pitch, and here it is. Runners go, swing and a miss, strike 3. 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Edgington. And he actually strikes out the side here in the first, but Columbia sends 6 men to the plate, and at the end of 1/2 inning of play, they have a 1-0 lead. The Who's will come to the plate trying to answer back. Cavalier offense set to go to work when we return to Disharoon Park after this. Not a lot of changes from game 1 to game 2 for this Virginia offense. We take a look at the batting order put together by 20th year head coach Brian O'Connor. Leading off is the shortstop Griff O'Farrell. Ethan O'Donnell bats second and is in center field. Jake Geloff, the third baseman, bats third with Casey Sauke in the cleanup spot. Sauke is the right fielder for Virginia. Hitting fifth and doing the catching, Kyle Teal, with Ethan Anderson batting in the sixth spot and playing first base. Hitting seventh, the designated hitter Colin Tuft gets a start, with Harrison Didowick once again in left field batting eighth, and Henry Godbout, the DH in game 1, will be the second baseman for this game and bat in the 9-hole. Again, the top third goes O'Farrell, O'Donnell, Geloff. Middle third is Sauke, Teal, Anderson. And the bottom third of Tuft, Didowick, and Godbout, all against J.D. Ogden. Junior left-hander makes the start for Columbia, and Columbia have a 1-0 lead. Cavaliers chasing a run because of the solo homer from the Lions left fielder Cole Hage that put them on the scoreboard to start the game. And now Griff O'Farrell and company going to try and get that run back. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. It's 0-1. Virginia held scoreless in the first inning of game 1. It was the first time all season in which Virginia not only did not score in the first, but did not score multiple runs. Bouncing ball from O'Farrell over to third baseman Anton Lazitz. And he throws across the way to first in plenty of time for out number 1. So 1 away, and that'll get Ethan O'Donnell to the plate for Virginia. Again with the Hoos trailing 1-0. O'Donnell off to an 8-for-20 start to the season, hitting at an even .400 through the first 5 games. Leans back out of the way of a fastball that runs up and in from Ogden. J.D. Ogden, 6'5", 220-pound lefty from White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Where's number 28 for the Lions, and deals a fastball down and away, 2-0. Rated as the number 4 draft-eligible prospect in the Ivy League coming into this season, according to D1 Baseball. And again, a big kid at 6'5". 2-0 pitch to O'Donnell. That's outside, 3-0. Last year, primarily a reliever for the Lions. 16 appearances, 4 starts. He went 2-4. Did have a couple of saves and a 4.17 ERA. 3-0 pitch, misses downstairs. That's ball 4. Didn't help his cause either that the catcher set up outside and he missed all the way across the plate inside. So O'Donnell works a 4-pitch walk, and Virginia has a base runner. And signs of life, trailing 1-0 here in the home half of the first. Jake Geloff will be the batter. It'll be interesting to see how much teams do this against Geloff. They shift 3 infielders to the left of second. And the right side of the infield wide open for Geloff, who really has shown the ability to hit to all fields throughout his time at Virginia, now third-year third baseman. But the second baseman, Kale, on the shortstop side of the bag. Geloff, a cut and a miss at a breaking ball from Ogden. Nice backdoor breaking ball to even the count, 1-1. Runner at first with 1 out. Good speed aboard in O'Donnell. Geloff 0-for-3 with a walk in game 1. And he watches a breaking ball catch the outside corner for strike 2. Geloff didn't think so. Crowd didn't think so, but it does swing the count in Ogden's favor, 1-2. Runner at first, 1 out, the pitch. Check swing and a ball down and away. It looked like a changeup that bounced in. So 2-2 the count now on Jake Geloff. 1-0 Columbia, home half of the first. And the pitch from Ogden, instead of kicking a check on O'Donnell. First baseman Dardar was sort of straddling the bag and had to awkwardly make his way back towards first base as O'Donnell went back in standing up. Now the 2-2 pitch to Geloff. Runner goes, swing and a miss, strike 3. Throw to second base is not in time. So Geloff is down on strikes. First strikeout of the game for Ogden. O'Donnell steals second base, and Virginia gets a man into scoring position. O'Donnell's first stolen base of the year, And Virginia gets the potential tying run into scoring position. Casey Sauke now the batter. See if Sauke can cash in for Virginia. He swings, lifts one out towards right field, but playable for the right fielder's shot. Little half leap as he makes the catch, and that will retire the side. So Columbia will carry a 1-0 lead through the end of the first inning. Cavaliers get a man to second, but cannot bring him across. No runs on no hits for Virginia. At the end of one complete, it's Columbia 1, Virginia nothing, and we're back in just a moment.
Fans, make sure to visit UVATix.com to get your Virginia baseball season tickets. That's UVATix.com to get your baseball season tickets. Also, fans, remember to pick up a baseball bingo card at the marketing table behind section 108. If you get bingo before the end of the fifth inning, you can enter to win a Virginia Athletics prize pack.
Brian Edgington looking to bounce back after the Lions of Columbia put up a run on 3 hits in the first inning. He'll face the bottom third of the lineup. Sky Selinski, Miles Blackwell, Jack Cale. And Edgington, who threw 25 pitches in the first, deals, and a fastball swung on, fouled away down the third base line. Pulled foul by Selinski. We're going to ambush that first pitch fastball. On the count, 0-1 to Selinski. Sophomore center fielder 0 for 3 in game 1. And the pitch now from Edgington. Fastball. Pretty close, but can't get the call from Dave Susie. And the count even up at a ball and a strike now. That one looked pretty good, but goes Selinski's way. Now the 1-1 pitch from Edgington. Swinging a ball popped up on the infield. Shortstop O'Farrell is under it. And makes the catch letter high for out number 1. So now Miles Blackwell will come to the plate for Columbia. Blackwell, the one defensive change from game 1 to 2, and that is, as you might expect, a doubleheader behind the plate. After Weston Eberle caught game 1, it's now Blackwell, the sophomore, for game 2. And Edgington flips in a slider for strike 1. Edgington today making his 46th career appearance at the Division I level and his 34th career Division I start. Pitch misses high, 1 ball, 1 strike. In addition to that, 8 appearances and 7 starts at the JUCO level. And all told, he has logged some 226-plus innings as a collegiate pitcher. Entering this start today. His 1-1 pitch now to Blackwell. Swing and a miss. Back to the slider. Right-hand hitter off balance. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Edgington stretches out his arms. Now ready with the 1-2 offering. And a slider for strike 3 called. Hit the outside corner. Blackwell is frozen. And now 4 of the 5 outs that Edgington has recorded have been by way of the strikeout.
Batting for Columbia, second baseman number 6, Jack Cale.
Now the 9-spot hitter Jack Cale for Columbia. Freshman from McMurray, Pennsylvania. A couple of Pennsylvania natives doing battle here. And the pitch didn't miss by much. Called a ball. Kids from opposite ends of the state, however. Next pitch from Edgington. Swinging the ball lifted out towards center field, drifting back a few steps on it, and into the gap goes O'Donnell to make the catch, and that will retire the side. So 1-2-3 go the Lions here in the second, exactly what Edgington was looking for. A nice bounce back and quick inning at that as he sets down the order on 9 pitches. At the end of 1 1/2 innings of play, our score remains Columbia 1, Virginia 0.
The 2023 UVA baseball season is presented by Battlefield Automotive Group. Don't drop the ball and overpay. Visit Battlefield Automotive today. Leading off for your Cavaliers and catcher number 3.
Left-hander J.D. Ogden returns to the mound for Columbia. His team in front of Virginia by a 1-0 score. Again, Cavaliers trailing for the first time this season. The 5-0 Hoos, fresh off a 4-1 win in Game 1 of the doubleheader. And it will be Kyle Teal, Ethan Anderson, and Colin Tuff to try and change that now as we go bottom 2. Teal 1 for 3 with a homer and a walk in Game 1. Swings and fouls it off his front foot to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Plate umpire Dave Susi walking out to exchange baseballs with the pitcher Ogden. Then as he made his way back to home plate, asking Teal, you need another second? Of course. Kyle's answer is going to be no, and he was already taking a practice swing in the batter's box. Left-hand hitter against the lefty Ogden. And the 6'5 southpaw deals, and he plunks Teal on the front shoulder, it looked like. Backside of that shoulder maybe, and either way, leadoff man aboard for Virginia as the Hoos try and make something happen here. And now Ethan Anderson, switch hitter to bat right against Ogden. With a runner at first, nobody out. Fastball misses outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Anderson 9 for 22 on the season. Fresh off a 2 for 4 showing in Game 1. Had a run scored in that game. 1-0, and yes, he did. Home plate umpire Dave Susi doesn't even need help. Anderson went most of the way around, and it's 1-1. Coach Mack will call for time, and Anderson will meet him halfway up that first baseline. Updating some scores from around the ACC. There's a good one tonight in Greenville, North Carolina, a sold-out game for number 11 ECU and number 12 North Carolina, who are kicking off a series down there tonight. And actually, important to keep an eye on that one as well, is North Carolina, Virginia's first ACC opponent on the docket this season. Pitch to Anderson, swung on, fouled away, and it's 1-2. Right now in the fourth inning, number 12 UNC leads number 11 East Carolina 1-0 at Clark LeClaire Stadium in Greenville. Familiar location for Virginia fans here recently. The 1-2 pitch. Up and out of the zone, check swing, no swing, says first base ump John Mang. And 2-2 the count. You missed it earlier today. Bryant upsetting number 14 Virginia Tech 7-3 in Blacksburg. Pitch down and in to Anderson, 3 balls and 2 strikes. But we'll keep an eye on that East Carolina matchup tonight. Runner at first with nobody out. Payoff pitch now to Anderson. Swinging a ball lifted out towards center field, straight away for Selinsky. Started back, now drifts in, almost retracing his steps, and in the webbing of his Columbia blue glove, he makes the catch, and that's out number 1.
Back for your Cavaliers, designated hitter number 21, Colin Tough.
Now Colin Tough, who again gets the start as the designated hitter. Right-hand batter against the lefty Ogden, who checks on the runner at first. Tough off to a 3-for-12 start to the season. .292 hitter a season ago with a home run and 15 runs batted in. Pitch up and away, pops out of the glove of the catcher Blackwell, and Kyle Teal will take second base. Heads up base running there. And a wild pitch to put the potential tying run into scoring position. 1-0 Columbia after they got a leadoff homer from Cole Hage in the first. Next one to Tuft outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Tuft, the now 2-time Iron Cavalier champion. Right-hand hitter, takes the pitch up and in. 3 balls, no strikes. And expecting to see a lot of playing time for him this season overall, but especially against a left-handed starter. Last year started 23 games for Virginia. 28 hits and 96 at-bats for Tuft. Right now, runner at second, 1 out. 3-0 pitch. And that's ball 4, missing outside. And Ogden right now fighting his command a little bit. He has walked 2 and plunked a batter. And shouldn't necessarily be all that surprised by the command issues. Last year in his 16 appearances, he worked 45 and a third innings. He walked 30 batters. Didowick a cut and a miss at the first pitch, and it's 0-1. This summer, Ogden pitched up in the New England Collegiate Baseball League for the North Shore Navigators. 13 innings for the Navigators. He walked 15 batters. Teal bluffing to break for second, now scampers back, or breaking for third, I should say, scampers back to second. He got a running start, but then Ogden held for an extra beat, and Teal got better thoughts, headed back to second, but still able to beat the throw back. Teal at second, Tuft at first, 1 out, the pitch. Didowick a check swing, and not even enough for an appeal, I guess. 1 ball, 1 strike. We are in the bottom half of the second inning. Virginia chasing a run. Pitch bounced towards second base, might be 2. Pops up on Kale. He knocks it down and has only 1 play. That is at first. And so that will go down as the second out, but it also puts not only the potential tying run at third base, but the potential go-ahead run at second base. And now with 2 outs, both Teal and Tuft can break with contact. And a base hit from Henry Godbout could put Virginia in front. Pitch way outside from Ogden, 1-0. Obviously, he's got first base to work with here, but the flip side of that is that the top of the order in O'Farrell waits on deck. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Ogden's pitch swung on and fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big opportunity for the first year here to step up with his team down by a run. Early innings of game 2 of today's doubleheader. And Godbout, who started game 1 as the DH, in there for game 2 as the second baseman, batting out of the 9 spot for this game. 2-minute scoring position, 2 outs. Swing and a ball line, but foul. Off the netting above Columbia's dugout along the first base line. Godbout, the reigning Mr. Baseball in the state of Tennessee, going to have to battle up now. 2 strikes against him. 1-2 the count. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Teal and Tuft have their leads. Ogden a long look in. And time asked for at the plate by Godbout. It was taking Ogden and the catcher Blackwell a while to get on the same page. Now they do. Lefty a deep breath from the belt. Deals, and he almost hit him. Fastball down and in at 94, but missing down and in. High-octane stuff from Ogden, but and he's been scattered all around the strike zone today. Next pitch, Godbout, late swing, and he's able to fight it off foul. That breaking ball dropped into the zone. And Godbout, very protective swing, but job well done to fight it off. So, count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Teal at third, he was hit by a pitch. Tuft at second, he walked. Virginia trails 1-0 in the second. Swung on, lifted down the right field line, racing over towards the corner goes Hayden, shot, and up against the wall, he will run out of room. That ball carrying towards the very corner down the right field line. And I'll tell you, for what was another fairly defensive swing from Godbout, he got really good carry on that ball. He is obviously not based on that foul ball alone, but reputation and what we've seen so far, very talented hitter. Fights off another one. Breaking ball bearing in on his hands. And now the crowd appreciative of his efforts to really extend this at bat. Columbia 1, Virginia 0, home half of the second. It'll be a 2-2 pitch from Ogden. Lefty deals, swung on, lifted towards right field, chasing back the right fielder, shot back against the wall. He leaps and it's gone! What an at-bat from Henry Godbout that ends in a 3-run homer to put Virginia in front. Drives it into the Cavalier bullpen. It's Virginia 3, Columbia 1. The second of the season for Godbout, and an 8-pitch at-bat ends with a 3-run homer. To the opposite field, no less. I tell you, Godbout kept fighting off pitch after pitch in that direction, and ultimately is rewarded for his efforts. RBIs numbers 6, 7, and 8 for Godbout. And we now have time on the field after the first pitch missed to O'Farrell. The de facto student section out in left field on the home run. Fans removing their shirts in celebration while one of them celebrating a little too hard, threw his shirt onto the field. As the pitch misses to O'Farrell. Can't fault the effort. Execution, maybe not so much. Visit now from the Columbia pitching coach, Tom Carty. And again, the entire Columbia infield will join him on the mound. That is a professional at bat from Henry Godbout. As we again go around the ACC, bottom of the fourth now from Greenville. 12th ranked North Carolina still leads 11th ranked East Carolina 1-0. Notre Dame and UNC Greensboro are tied at 4 in the 7th inning. 5th inning in Clemson, and it's UCF 2, Clemson 1. Going to be a good one tonight from Fort Worth, Texas. Florida State and TCU. The Noles on the road at the Horned Frogs, the 8th-ranked Horned Frogs. As O'Farrell swings and rockets one to left, chasing back the left fielder, back to the wall, and he's got room to make the catch. O'Farrell had thoughts of going back-to-back, but that one dies on the track as Hage able to track it down. And the side is retired, but not before Henry Godbout has put the Hoos in front, a 3-run homer. And after 2 complete now in Charlottesville, it's Virginia 3, Columbia 1.
If you want to see those smiles, tweet us your best smiles using hashtag GoHoos and hashtag Who's Smiling to see yourself on the video board. We'll pick one lucky winner to get a Virginia Athletics box pack, courtesy of United Concordia. United Concordia is a proud sponsor of Virginia Athletics. Fortify your business with United Concordia Dental.
Now the Virginia offense picking up Brian Edgington with a big 3 spot in the home half of the second. And as we go to the third, see if the Cavalier right-hander can come up with the shutdown inning here. He'll have his hands full facing the top of the lineup for Columbia. Cole Hage, Andy Blake, Seth Dardar. And Hage, who took him deep for a solo homer in the first inning, takes the pitch over the outside corner for a called strike. And it's 0-1. Hage, Blake, Dardar, and Edgington. The grad transfer righty kicks and deals. Inside with a fastball, 1-1. Edgington, who spent the last 3 years at Elon, where he was primarily a starter for the Phoenix. Between 2020, 21, and 22. The 1-1 pitch. Skied right side. Godbout back from second. It's Sauke in from right underneath it. And a one-handed grab for out number 1. Hage is retired. Prior to his time at Elon, where he was a second-team All-CAA selection last year, Edgington spent a year at Mercer County Community College, the Vikings. In 2019, he pitched for Mercer County in West Windsor, New Jersey. Now Andy Blake, right-handed batter for Columbia. 8 appearances, 7 starts that year at the JUCO ranks. Pitch to Blake. Swing and a miss. Had him out in front of a slider. It's 0-1. And this after spending his freshman season at St. Joe's. Pitching for the Hawks and Philadelphia in 2018. The 0-1 pitch now from Edgington. Swung on and skied left side, but he hooked it foul. And up against the wall, a little leap from Didowick. He has room to make the catch, taking advantage of that extended foul territory. And there are 2 down. So Blake retired. Each corner outfielder has now made a catch in this half inning. And with 2 outs, bases empty, top of 3, it'll be Seth Dardar for Columbia. So Edgington, graduate student right-hander. I mean, he's a grown man. His 6th year of college baseball in his 4th school. Right-hander's pitch is at the knees for a called strike, 0-1. .226 2/3 innings of work combined coming into this start tonight. Across his prior 5 years of collegiate baseball. 0-1 slider misses up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Dardar. He singled his first time up. 3 hits in the first inning for Columbia. And they pushed the run across, but Virginia has answered on Henry Godbout's 3-run homer last half inning. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. A little tardy on a fastball there. And Edgington is ahead of Dardar. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs, bases empty. And the pitch from Edgington. Down and away. Fastball missed, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Edgington 4 1/3 innings last time out through 76 pitches in the win over Navy. The 2-2 pitch now. And he bounced it in. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So he has gone full. Two outs, bases clear, top of the 3rd. Edgington stretches the arms out above his head, shrugs the shoulders. And now his payoff pitch to Dardar. Late decision to swing and foul it away, which he does. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Seth Dardar. Hayden Schott, the cleanup man, would be next if it got that far. Edgington trying to post another 1-2-3 inning here. And again, his payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball by him at 92. And how about 5 strikeouts already for Brian Edgington now through 3 innings of work. That's a big shutdown frame from the grad transfer right-hander, and at the end of now 2.5 innings of play in Charlottesville, it's Virginia 3, Columbia 1.
Hey fans, bring your family to Disharoon Park to enjoy our Sunday Youth Days. Every Sunday we'll have inflatables, a balloon artist, post-game autographs, and kids running the bases. And youth tickets are free with the purchase of an adult Jimbo Edition ticket. Visit UVAKids.com to learn more.
Thanks to Henry Godbout's 3-run homer last inning, Virginia has a 3-1 lead. Golden opportunity for a little bit more as we go bottom 3 now. As Virginia set to send the 2-3-4 hitters O'Donnell, Geloff, and Sauke to the plate. And Kyle Teal would be next if any of those 3 were to reach. Cavaliers 3, Lions 1. Interestingly enough, Columbia 1 run on 3 hits. Virginia 3 runs on 1 hit. So here is O'Donnell, lefty against lefty. Ogden flips in a breaking ball for strike 1. J.D. Ogden, Jr. from White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Played at Mounds Park Academy, the Panthers. As O'Donnell fouls it away, and it's 0-2. Where he was an all-conference selection as a junior in 2019. Two-sport athlete, but at 6'5", you might think basketball. He was also a cross-country runner in high school. 0-2 pitch, tapped foul. Then again, Ogden's dad, Henry, who was a baseball player, his dad was a track and field athlete in college. He ran track at Harvard, so not just track in the bloodlines, but Ivy League athletics as well. 0-2 pitch misses down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to O'Donnell. Ogden's dad, Henry, was a pitcher actually here in Virginia. He pitched at U of R in the early 90s. Henry Ogden was a right-handed reliever for the Spiders. Breaking ball to O'Donnell, misses outside, and trying to get him to extend on a slider. He would not. Good battle brewing now between Ogden and O'Donnell. And the lefty deals. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes, right back to that slider. And the second strikeout of the ball game for J.D. Ogden. And there's 1 away here in the 3rd for Jake Geloff. And Geloff takes the first pitch inside, 1-0. In fact, Ogden's dad, Henry, again pitching at U of R. At one time, he held the single-season record for appearances. He made 23 in a season for the Spiders, which has subsequently been broken. Geloff, a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says first base ump John Mang. So 1-1 the count. Ogden relying heavily on the off-speed stuff in this half inning. Pitch to Geloff. Tried to backdoor a breaking ball, missed outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Again for J.D. Ogden, 16 appearances last year, 4 of them as a starter, and moves into the weekend rotation for this year. 2-1, missed off the plate away. 3 balls and a strike to Geloff. Strikeout victim his first time up. Geloff 0 for 3 in game 1 with a walk, looking for his first hit of the doubleheader. He's got a favorable count, 3 balls and a strike, the pitch. And he takes strike 2. Ogden not giving in, still has not shown Jake a fastball in this at-bat. 1 out, base is empty, and the payoff pitch misses outside, ball 4. So Geloff, his second walk of the day. And Virginia has a 1 out base runner now for Casey Sauke. And a first pitch fastball to Sauke, missing upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. J.D. Ogden, again, battling his command some here tonight, has walked 3 batters now and has hit another. Sauke shoots it foul back off the screen. And the count even up at a ball and a strike. And again, last year, 30 walks over 45 in the 3rd innings. He's got high leverage stuff. I mean, we've seen the fastball as high as 94 tonight. Has really been sitting 91, 92, but he's touched 94. And a good hard slider as well. Seen him mix in a changeup. From that 6'5" frame, he's got a lot of projectables, but reining the stuff in seems to be the problem. Checks again on the runner at first. And Geloff back in standing. Jake is yet to attempt a stolen base this year. He did steal 3 last season. 1-1 pitch to Sauke. Swing and a foul tip. 1-2 the count. Home plate umpire Dave Susi gets a replacement set of baseballs. Again, no baseball tomorrow because of the daunting forecast, not only for snow, but just plain cold. 1-2 pitch, instead another check on Geloff at first. And we will wrap up the series Sunday at 1 o'clock. Have that broadcast right for you here as well. Pitch to Sauke off the plate away. That'll even the count at 2-2. Before VMI is in town for a midweek game next Tuesday. Virginia 4-1 winners in game 1 earlier today. 2-2 pitch, down and away. Again, back to the changeup. That will run the count full, 3-2 on Sauke. And that pitch looking like it's got good downward tilt and also some fade, but he started it off the plate away, which makes it an easy take for Sauke as it only fades farther away from him. Ogden very much preoccupied with Geloff at first, but I think part of this is due to the fact that Columbia has gotten a right-hander up and throwing in the bullpen behind him, maybe to buy a little time. The 3-2 pitch, runner goes, and it's taken down for ball 4. So make it now 4 walks in the game for the left-hander J.D. Ogden. And we'll see if Virginia can take advantage of the 2 walks he has issued in this inning. Virginia 3, Columbia 1. Cavaliers still sitting on 1 hit. The 3-run homer from Henry Godbout. And that home run, 3 runs scored. There were 2 men on base because of a walk and a hit batter. Now Teal takes a fastball wide, 1-0. And again, Virginia now working with 2 base runners because of a pair of walks. 4 walks and a hit batter for Ogden over 2 1/3 innings. Left-hander deals. And Teal shoots one out towards left field, racing on and into a sort of half-dive attempt for the left fielder, Haig. The ball lands in front of him around third, heading home, and coming in to score is Geloff. Sliding in at third is Sauke, just ahead of the tag from the third baseman, Lazitz. Virginia's got its 4th run of the day on the RBI from Kyle Teal. Either a single and an error or a double as the ball got away from the left fielder, Cole Hage. He couldn't decide whether to dive or not. And as he tried to pick the short hop, the ball bounced away from him. Columbia is appealing the call that Sauke was safe at third. Geloff scores either way, as even if the call at third is overturned, it would be the second out of the inning. So either way, Virginia has taken advantage of the couple of walks with Kyle Teal driving Jake Geloff home from second. Again, it almost feels silly to predict because in Game 1, we had the review of the tag play at second base. Call on the field was safe. Upon review, I thought he was tagged out, but then the umps came back and upheld the safe call. Now, safe is the call at third. I thought, at least to the naked eye, he looked out, but again, not only does Virginia have the advantage of the fact that the call in the field was initially safe, seems as though, at least as of today, based on that first review from game one, maybe all of the available angles are not that great, such that it would be complicated to try and figure out something that would change the minds of the umpires. And I think all that works in Virginia's favor here, but we'll find out. And he is safe. And again, I think that might have as much to do with video review angles available, limited such that they are today, as it does what the actual outcome truly was at the base. So, 4-1 Virginia, as Geloff comes in to score, and Sauke is indeed safe at third base. It goes down as an RBI double for Teal. And now Ethan Anderson, second and third, just one out. A chance for much more for Virginia. And Anderson takes a called strike top of the zone for Kyle Teal, RBI number 6 on his first double of the year. Anderson flied to center field his first time up. Rockets this one back up the middle and through for a base hit. Almost knocked the pitcher's glove off. Home from third, Sauke. Right behind him, Teal in to score. It's a 2 RBI single for Ethan Anderson, and it's a 6-1 Wahoo lead. Three runs home in the inning now for Virginia. Consecutive innings in which Virginia has scored 3 times. And here in the bottom of the third, the Who's may be opening it up just a little bit. Colin Tuft is the batter. Ogden continues to work, and a fastball swung on and missed. The right-hander who had been throwing, Justin Tucker, appears to be ready if they want to go get him. Ogden again has had to throw a lot of pitches. Next one is down. It's 1-1. And put it this way, fewer than half his pitches have been strikes. He has really battled his command today. Next one down again. He's about to throw his 65th pitch of the game, and he has only thrown 30 strikes in the ball game. 2 balls, 1 strike to Tuft. Walked and scored his first time up. 1 of 4 walks surrendered by Ogden. And now he's at risk of allowing a 5th as the count moves to 3 balls and a strike on Colin Tuft. I got to imagine if Ogden loses him here, that would be it. 3-1. There's a called strike, although on deck is a lefty in Didowick, so maybe not, because after Didowick it's consecutive righties, Godbout and O'Farrell. So maybe Didowick, the last guy Ogden will face either way. We'll have to see. 3-2 pitch, way outside, ball 4. I think the problem is right now the way that Ogden is clearly struggling to find the strike zone. How long can you wait, period? That is 5 walks and a hit batter. 67 pitches, only 32 strikes. And again, I think right now has a lot less to do with matchups and a lot more to do with Ogden's inability to find the strike zone. Pitching coach is out to the mound, although he handles everything for Columbia. Tom Carty. And again, Justin Tucker is ready in the bullpen if they want to make the move. There's the sign, and indeed they are going to. So Didowick will not face J.D. Ogden for a second time. And it's an early call to the bullpen for the Lions here tonight. And we will tell you about the new arm for Columbia when we come back. 6-1 Virginia here in the home half of the third in Charlottesville. Justin Tucker is the new pitcher for Columbia. He inherits runners at first and second and one out. Home half of the third that has already seen Virginia score 3 runs in this inning. The Wahoos lead it 6-1. And Harrison Didowick will be the first man that Justin Tucker will face. Redshirt senior from Renton, Washington, his second season at Columbia after 3 years at Pacific Lutheran University in Parkland, Washington. And he made 9 appearances last year for Columbia. Righty deals to the lefty Didowick, and he fouls away a fastball, 0-1. Tucker, 6'2", 200-pound righty, wears number 36 for the Lions. Anderson at second, Tuft at first. And the 0-1 now to Didowick. Breaking ball, check swing. And no swing. Ball that bounced in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tucker last year 1-1 with a 2.79 ERA. 9 2/3 innings, struck out 6, walked 10. The 1-1. Bounced right side into play. It is the first baseman. He'll have only 1 play as Dardar steps on first base. Had to come in front of the bag to field it, and that was really the only option. Over to third base goes Anderson. Up to second goes Tuft. And now the hero of the game so far, Henry Godbout. He of the 3-run homer last inning. Bats in almost the identical situation. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. An inning later. Bounces it foul behind Coach Mack, and it's 0-1 on a slider from Justin Tucker. Only difference is that instead of it being Kyle Teal at third, it's Ethan Anderson at third this time. Once again, Colin Tuft is at second. And once again, there are 2 outs. The 0-1 pitch. Bounced foul. Third base side. And the count 0-2. So see if Godbout can deliver once again for Virginia. The Who's already leading 6-1 here in the third. And the 0-2 pitch. That one bounced in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Interesting that there is immediate activity behind Tucker in the Columbia bullpen. Right-hander Derek Yu is now throwing. Now the 1-2. Reached for and fouled away, and Godbout up to his old tricks, spoiling another pitch. It was an extended at bat last time that ended in a 3-run homer. Now the 1-2 pitch from Tucker. Bounced right back to the mound. Almost lost his footing as he made his way down the mound, but recovers to flip on to first, and that will retire the side. So Virginia settles for the 3 runs. RBIs for Teal and Anderson in the inning. The Wahoos send 8 men to the plate and knock Columbia starter J.D. Ogden out of the game. At the end of 3 complete innings of play in Charlottesville, Virginia 6, Columbia 1. 3 inning totals is this one as we go top 4 now. Brian Edgington back to the mound for the Who's to face the middle third of the lineup for Columbia. For the visiting Lions, it has been 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base, one of those 2 left in scoring position. For the Who's, 6 runs on just 3 hits, no errors, 3 runners left on base. All 3 of those have been left in scoring position. Again, 1-3-0 for Columbia, 6-3-0 for Virginia. Hayden shot to lead it off for Columbia, and a wave and a miss at a first pitch changeup, and it's 0-1. And again, Virginia, the 6 runs on just 3 hits, they have been the beneficiary of 5 walks from Columbia plus a hit batter. The 0-1 pitch now from Brian Edgington. Inside out into the left side, but foul. And it's 0-2. Edgington just threw pitch number 48 in the ball game. Columbia's starter, J.D. Ogden, has already been knocked out of the game. 67 pitches to get through 2 1/3 innings. He was at 29 pitches in the third when Columbia removed him from the game. The 0-2 now to Schott. Rolled towards first, but foul. Off the end of the bat, scooped up by Anderson. One of the interesting things about Columbia and the Ivy League in general is that they require the players to only spend 4 years instead of it really being based on NCAA eligibility. And so a lot of guys end up going to play as grad transfers elsewhere after 4 years. And that is the case for a guy like Hayden Schott. But what makes it interesting is he already knows where he's going next year. Pitch outside, and it's a ball and 2 strikes because he knows it can't be to just stay at Columbia and play another year because he will graduate. So he is going to play for Texas A&M next season for his final year of eligibility. Fouls the pitch back. And we'll do it again, 1-2. But has to be an odd feeling. I mean, it's not as if he's leaving Columbia behind because he is playing for the Lions as long as he is allowed to. But knowing that he's going to be joining a different set of teammates next year. Fastball misses up and in. And that'll even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the right-hander back into the windup. Edgington's pitch. That one bounced in. Edgington lost his hat in the process. And the count goes to 3-2. Same story, at least in knowing where he's going to be playing next year for Weston Eberle, their all-conference catcher who caught Game 1. Eberle is going to go play for Georgia next year for his final season of eligibility. Not in the lineup for Game 2. The payoff pitch now to Schott. Fouled away. We'll do it again, 3-2. Now Edgington ready to work once again. The payoff pitch hit sharply and through the right side for a base hit. So there is a leadoff single for Hayden Schott.
Batting for Columbia, third baseman number 15, Anton Lazis.
Now again, as Lazits come to the plate, talked earlier about a couple of the spots that Columbia having to fill from last season in terms of everyday starters that they lost to this season from that NCAA regional team. As now Lazits takes a called strike. One of the spots is center field where Sky Selinski has taken over as the regular center fielder. But it's interesting when you think about they lost their starting center fielder from last season in Josh Solomon. Fastball misses wide. It's 1-1. Solomon is still playing college baseball, but it's sort of the situation that he would have been in all of last season is what guys like Schott and Eberle are dealing with now. They know where they're going to play next year. As Solomon is now playing at Duke, we'll actually see him this year as he's become one of the Blue Devils' starting outfielders. Fastball from Edgington swung on and missed, and it's 1-2 to Lazitz. So Solomon would have spent last season knowing I'm going to be playing for Duke next year, but still having to focus on playing for Columbia in the moment. And now, because last year was the final year he had of Columbia or Ivy League eligibility, but he still has a year of NCAA eligibility and now is playing at Duke. Pitch is popped up right side. Will it be playable for Anderson racing over? It will not, as it lands on top of Columbia's dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Anton Lazitz. 6-1 Virginia leads. We are in the top of the 4th. Runner at first base is Hayden Schott. Again, Schott, who's going to be playing SEC baseball next year. And a guy that last year hit 12 homers, 55 RBIs. Well, he is off to a 4-for-6 start to the season. 4 hits over the course of today's doubleheader. Pitch is fouled away. Yeah, we'll do it again, 1-2. Columbia striking first in this game. A leadoff homer from Cole Hage. As Edgington checks on the runner at first. But since then, Virginia with 3 in the second, 3 more in the third. And lead this thing 6-1. The pitch. There's a fastball. Strike 3 called. 92 over the outside corner. And Brian Edgington has strikeout number 6 here tonight.
For Columbia, the designated hitter, number 34, E.J. Krutzman.
Now E.J. Krutzman. Three infielders to the right of second base. And a check on the runner at first, and he throws it away down the line. Godbout over to back it up quickly enough. Playing the carom such that Schott decided against trying to move up to second base. Good hustle from Godbout. Good coverage as well, and it probably helped that in that shift he was so far over towards first base he was able to read the angle and get to that ball quickly off the deflection off the side wall. Pitch to Krutzman. Swing and a miss. Out in front of a changeup, 0-1. Virginia 6, Columbia 1. Lions out hitting Virginia 4-3. And in game 1 today, Lions out hit Virginia 6-5, but it was Virginia winning 4-1. Now the 0-1. Foul tipped. And it's 0-2. E.J. Krutzman, strikeout victim back in the first. Left-hand hitting designated hitter for Columbia. Again, projected regional team, not only by the Ivy League folks themselves, but also by D1 baseball. The 0-2 pitch is a little bit low. Fastball down, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Did look to be the correct call from umpire Dave Susi. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Krutzman might have helped him out. Elevated pitch there from Brian Edgington. Either way, it's strikeout number 7. And there are 2 down. Schott still at first base for the Lions. Now with 2 outs in the inning here, top of the 4th. And Sky Solinsky is the batter. Aliso Viejo, California, Sky Selinsky, 6'1", right-handed batter. And Edgington's first offering, a long hold here. And he misses away with a fastball. Went back home to California to play his summer ball this past summer, did Selinsky. Playing for Quakes Baseball, the Sunset League. Just 8 games, hit .364. 12 hits and 33 at-bats. The 1-0 now from Edgington. Checks on the runner at first. Short lead over there from Hayden Schott. Schott, a couple of singles today. And again, has been on base 4 times over the course of the doubleheader. Just 2 steals and 3 attempts last year. Edgington from the belt. 1-0 pitch. Lifted foul right side and out of play. And that'll even the count at 1-1 to Sky Selinsky. Rated as the number 38 outfielding recruit in the state of California, coming out of Mater Dei High School, the Monarchs, as a senior back in 2021. 1-1 pitch, outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Brian Edgington, pitch count getting elevated a little bit here in the 4th. He's approaching 70 pitches, and again, part of that is 7 strikeouts. Swing and a miss on a fastball there. And this next pitch will be number 70 for the right-hander Edgington. As he tries to put a bow on the 4th. Runner at first base, 2 outs. Righty from the stretch deals. Strike 3 called. He does exactly that and strikes out the side. Brian Edgington with 8 strikeouts tonight. And he's done so through just 4 innings of work. After 3.5 innings of play from Disharoon Park, it's Virginia 6, Columbia 1.
Thanks for sending us your pictures, those pictures of your smiling faces. Jenny Taylor is our lucky winner tonight, courtesy of United Concordia Jenny Company, the marketing staff next to the lineup board behind section 108 to clean your prize pack. Congratulations, Jenny Taylor.
Bottom of the 4th and top of the order for Virginia. Griff O'Farrell, Ethan O'Donnell, and Jake Geloff will face the right-hander Justin Tucker. He got the final couple of outs in the 3rd and remains on for the 4th. Wahoo's in front, 6-1 in this back half of the doubleheader. Fastball in there for a strike, and it's 0-1 on O'Farrell. 0 for 2 so far today. His first at bat against the right-hander in this game, who pumps in another strike, and it's quickly 0-2. From the stretch, even with the bases empty, Justin Tucker, and the pitch upstairs, 1-2. Back up and throwing once again, Derek Yu, who had been throwing some last inning. O'Farrell a wave and a miss and a breaking ball here. And he is down on strikes for out number 1. Justin Tucker gets his man. One away now for Ethan O'Donnell. Tucker coming to Columbia by way of Pacific Lutheran University, a Division III school in Parkland, Washington. The Lutes, where he spent 3 seasons in his home state of Washington. Pitch to O'Donnell is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. O'Donnell, a walk and a strikeout in this game. He walked in the first, stole second. As the pitch fouled back by O'Donnell, and it's quickly 0-2. Struck out swinging in the third. 1 for 4 with a double in game 1. Now the 0-2. Swung on, line down the left field line, but hooking foul, and it is indeed a foul ball. We'll do it again. No balls, 2 strikes to O'Donnell. O'Donnell, a .320 hitter last season at Northwestern. 10 homers, 39 runs driven in. 0-2. Just missed away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Tucker from the belt deals. Again, missed outside. Time with a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To Ethan O'Donnell. Left-hand hitter against the righty Tucker. Bounces it back past the mound. Tucker stuck out his bare hand but doesn't touch it. Fielded by the shortstop. And Blake throws on to first. It goes 6-3. O'Donnell is retired for out number 2. That'll get Jake Geloff back to the plate for Virginia. Yeah, Geloff takes the pitch wide, 1-0. Strikeout and a walk so far for Jake in this game. Another off-speed pitch to start him. I mean, might be able to count the number of fastballs he's seen this year on one hand. Again, breaking ball this time in there for a strike, 1-1. Third year out of Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. And preseason All-American. So far living up to the hype with 13 runs batted in. Fastball runs up and in on him. No swing on a check swing. And when he does get a fastball, it's not in the strike zone. Trying to get him the chase up and out of the zone. He did not. Next pitch, again off speed, hits the outside corner to even the count at 2-2. 2 outs, base is empty. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Righty against righty. And slider misses outside to run it full to 3-2. And a payoff pitch to come now from the righty Tucker. Late decision to swing by Geloff, fouls back the pitch, and we'll do it again. Had seen earlier where Duke had been leading Baylor 10-1. They have doubled that lead. It's now 20-1 Blue Devils in the 9th inning from Durham. Meanwhile, North Carolina has tacked on a couple more runs in the 7th, and they now lead East Carolina 3-0 in Greenville. 3-2, swing and a miss at a slider, and 1-2-3 go the Who's here in the 4th as Justin Tucker makes quick work of the top third of Virginia's lineup. Now the end of 4 complete. It's Virginia 6, Columbia 1.
Turn your attention to Who Vision for Who Am I, presented by UVA Health. He set a UVA freshman home run record with 15 in 2002. He hit 298 Major League Baseball home runs. He played with Ryan Zimmerman at UVA and the Washington Nationals. Which historic Virginia baseball player could this be? Stay tuned to find out at the sixth inning.
A little bit of stirring in the Virginia bullpen as we get this fifth inning underway. Some action behind the right-hander Brian Edgington, who is back out of the mound after having struck out the side in the fourth. Right-hander to face the 8-9-1 hitters for Columbia. Miles Blackwell, right-handed batter and catcher, leads it off. Swinging a little spinner off the end of the bat, foul. And it's 0-1. Virginia 6, Columbia 1. 6 runs, 3 hits for Virginia. 1 run, 4 hits for the Lions in this game. And the 0-1. Breaking ball just missed wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Edgington starts the windup, and now the 1-1. Fastball, top of the zone, called strike 2. And Edgington, who already has 8 strikeouts in this ball game, deals the 1-2 pitch. Couldn't induce a swing from Blackwell there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Miles Blackwell, sophomore from L.A. Junipero Serra High School product, where he graduated in 2021. His second season with the Lions. Backup catcher to Weston Everly. 2-2 is popped up right side. Will it stay playable for Anderson into foul territory? Up against the wall, and he cannot get to it. It lands in the first row of seats. So extra life for Miles Blackwell here. Blackwell a season ago just 13 at bats. He went 6 for 13, so you could say he made the most of them, but limited opportunities. Had a double and an RBI. The 2-2 pitch is off the outside corner. Edgington went for a little stroll to the first base side of the mound. Wasn't even looking back towards home plate. I mean, it wasn't even trying to sell it. He was completely convinced, and there was no 2 ways about it, that was strike 3. Not the case. So now he's got to regroup for a payoff pitch to Blackwell. And check swing, no swing, and he lost him. Edgington frustrated as he gets the toss back from Teal. And it looked like Virginia's dugout just checked with Teal as if to ask, was that 2-2 pitch indeed wide? And Teal gave a subtle nod back to the dugout. I think it didn't miss by much, but might have been just off the outside corner. So now Jack Cale, the batter for Columbia. There's a called strike, 0-1. The activity behind Edgington is a left-hander throwing, Angelo Tonis. And the pitch swung on, fouled away left side and out of play. It's Virginia once again mixing righty-lefty as they did in game one, going from the starter Parker to the reliever Berry. It would appear as though they will go from now the starter Edgington to the lefty reliever in Tonis. 0-2 pitch. Upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Could also be situational spot. There are consecutive lefties in the lineup, Dardar and Schott in the 3 and 4 spots to potentially play a matchup, especially with Edgington now at 80 pitches in the game. Kale, the 9-spot hitter, the 1-2 pitch from Edgington. Swing and a miss and a ball in the dirt. That is strike 3. First base occupied. And that is strikeout number 9 for Brian Edgington. Well, he has easily set a new season high as he struck out 3 batters last Friday against Navy. Last season, his high strikeout total was 11 against Army. His career high, 12, that he set against William and Mary back in 2021. That was over 9 innings in April of 2021. Swinging a tapper foul off the bat of Cole Hage, and it's 0-1. 1 out, runner at first base. Obviously, Edgington would love to get Hage again here. Hage got him for a solo homer to start the ball game, leading off the top of the first. He got him to fly out to right in the third. The 0-1. Drops in for strike 2. Hage very late in the process recognized that one was going to find the zone. By the time he had reacted, it was already in Kyle Teal's glove. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first base with 1 out. Edgington looks over his shoulder at first. And now to the plate with the 0-2. And he missed outside with a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Edgington, 4 1/3 innings last Friday against Navy. Through 76 pitches. And he's up into the mid-80s here tonight. The 1-2. Bounced it in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Virginia allowed Nick Parker to throw 93 pitches earlier today. I mean, you're talking about the veteran most of the veterans. Parker a 5th year, Edgington a 6th year. So you're not necessarily as worried about getting them stretched out early in the season, at least in terms of worrying about pitch count. Ground ball over to third, might be 2. Geloff fields to second. There's 1. Godbout, nice adjustment at second. Moving the feet around, receiving the throw, and firing on to first to complete the double play. It goes 5-4 to 3 around the horn, and the inning is over. That'll certainly help the cause for Brian Edgington, getting that pitch count back in check, and a scoreless 5th inning. The end of 4.5 innings of play. We are halfway home, and our score in Charlottesville, Virginia 6, Columbia 1.
Fans want tickets to all home baseball games this year and get access to the best available seats. New to the 2023 season is the Cab Pass. With the Cab Pass, you can select your own seat anywhere in the stadium 48 hours prior to game time based on availability. Visit UVATix.com to learn more. Leading off for your Cavaliers, right fielder number 8, Casey Saki.
To the bottom of the fifth we go. Midway through this one, Virginia in front of Columbia by a 6-1 score after taking game one of the doubleheader 4-1 earlier today. First pitch to Casey Sauke misses outside from the right-hander Justin Tucker, who remains on for another inning. His next one down, and it's quickly 2-0 to Sauke. Sauke, Teal, and Anderson for Virginia. Time asked for at the plate, granted by Dave Susi. And the next one to Sauke, down and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Down and in, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk surrendered by Tucker here. And Sauke is aboard to start the inning. Well, Virginia sent 8 men to the plate in the third. Scored 3 times. Tucker came back in the fourth. Retired the side in order, including 2 strikeouts, but he has now walked the leadoff man to open up this home half of the fifth. Kyle Teal, the batter, and he takes a fastball high, 1-0. Again, there has been activity in the Virginia bullpen throughout the preceding half inning. Fastball upstairs, 2-0 to Teal, and now for Justin Tucker, 6 pitches in the inning. They have all been out of the strike zone. You wonder if Edgington getting through the fifth changes at all the plan in terms of arms to be used going forward. 2-0 pitch down and away. 3 balls, no strikes. So 7 straight out of the strike zone. And now activity resuming quickly in the Columbia pen. We've seen Derek Yu get up now 3 times. 3-0 pitch is in there for a called strike, 3-1. From the D3 transfer, Justin Tucker. So 3 balls, 1 strike to Teal, and he watches it low. That's ball 4. So back-to-back walks to start the 5th inning, and Virginia is in business. Ethan Anderson will come to the plate. Catcher Miles Blackwell will go chat with Tucker, and this is probably just to buy some time because they want to get Derek Yu back up and loose in the bullpen. Good news for you is that he's already had 2 prior occasions in which he was throwing in the bullpen, so it shouldn't take him too much longer, but we'll see. First and second, nobody out. Ethan Anderson, switch hitter, batting left against the right-hander Tucker. And the pitch. Big swing, and he foul tips it. Anderson looking to launch. And now behind in the count, 0-1. Right-hander set at the belt. The pitch to Anderson upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Columbia pitching walked 3 batters total in game 1 earlier today. They have walked 7 Virginia batters in game 2. Anderson grounds one towards short, might be 2. Blake Fields flipped to second. There's 1. Back to first. Taylor made, and a double play. So Anderson bounces into the 6-4-3, turned by Blake and Kale in the middle. And over to third base goes Sauke, but there are 2 outs in the inning now. And another visit from Blackwell to Tucker. I don't want to necessarily call it wasting, but Columbia utilizing 2 of their allotted mound visits in consecutive batters. And I mean, if they're just talking about how to attack Tuft, Again, somewhat of an oddly timed visit because they just had one. Nevertheless, righty against righty. Tuft has come to the plate twice and has walked twice. Maybe wanting to put a ball in play, swings at the first pitch, a slider that would have been off the plate away, and the count 0-1. Runner at third base, 2 outs, no balls, and 1 strike on Colin Tuft. Swing and a miss again, chasing a slider down and away. And it's quickly 0-2, and I see for now a visit for Virginia. Is Coach Mack's going to call Colin Tuft halfway up the third baseline. I see Angelo Tonis back up and throwing again, and when we move to the 6th inning, Andy Blake, a right-handed hitter, will lead off, and then it's Dardar and Schott, consecutive lefties, and I really think there's 2 schools of thought. One is with the starter in Edgington, get him out on a high note, the double play that ended the 5th, a scoreless inning. In fact, 4 consecutive innings in which he's faced the minimum 3 batters. 86 pitches, done after 5 innings with a lead. Or you run him back out, see if he can get the first batter before you hand it off for the lefty-lefty matchups. The 0-2. Outside this time, Tuft makes the adjustment, recognizing that slider, and does not offer. Almost a carbon copy of the first couple of pitches, maybe extending a little bit more, but very similar to the first couple of pitches that Tucker had thrown. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Runner at third base, 2 outs, 6-1 Virginia leads. Swing and a foul tip caught by Blackwell. Tuft is down on strikes. He went back to that slider and got his man. That'll do it for Virginia here in the 5th. So first 2 men reach, but Virginia will ultimately leave a man at third base. And at the end of now 5 complete innings of play from Disharoon Park, it's Virginia 6, Columbia 1.
Presented by Charlottesville Gas. Out of the bullpen, number 31, Angelo Tonis, now pitching for Virginia. Charlottesville Gas reminds you to always call Virginia 811 before you dig. Visit www.charlottesville.gov/gas.
The day is indeed done for Brian Edgington. 5 innings, 1 run on 4 hits, walked only 1, struck out 9 Columbia batters, and would be in line to take the win. He hands it off to the bullpen as we go to the 6th. Angelo Tonis will take over out of the Cavalier bullpen. Tonis made his Cavalier debut against Longwood on Tuesday, and his first pitch is a strike to Andy Blake. It's Blake, Dardar, Shot, the 2-3-4 hitters for Columbia. Right-hand batter against the lefty, Tonis. And there's a called strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes the count. Tonis against Longwood on Tuesday. A scoreless inning, struck out one of the 3 batters that he faced and needed just 11 pitches. Now his 0-2 offering to Blake. Check swing and a ball that bounced down and in on him, and it's 1-2. Again, Tonis, who led Georgetown last year, making 30 relief appearances. Had 7 saves for the Hoyas. His 1-2 pitch bounced in a fastball, and the count even up at 2-2. And we saw him pitch against Virginia here in Charlottesville on April 20th. A game that Virginia won 6-4. He went 2/3 of a scoreless inning. And in fact, both outs he recorded were by way of the strikeout. 2-2 pitch to Blake. Little looper out towards center field. That's going to dunk in for a base hit. Jammed him up, but he's able to muscle it into center field for a leadoff single. And now Seth Dardar will be the batter. So now Tonis will get the lefty-lefty matchups. Beginning with the junior from Montville, Louisiana, Seth Dardar. Virginia 6, Columbia 1. Fastball missed wide, 1-0. Jake Huterovich is the next man to get up and begin very lightly short tossing in the Virginia bullpen. The 1-0 pitch now from Tonis. Slider, strike call, then it's 1-1. Virginia 4-1 winners in game 1. Cavaliers getting a run in the second, another in the third, and 2 in the 7th. Assisted heavily in that game by 3 Columbia errors. And what was Columbia's first game of the season is a Virginia team improving to 5-0 on the other side. Slider from Tonis swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. Here in game 2, Cole Hage's solo home run put Columbia in front on the first batter of the game, but Virginia answered back with a 3-run homer from Henry Godbout in the second, and 3 more runs home in the third to make it 6-1 Hoos. 1-2 pitch now. Breaking ball down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It has gone final from Durham, a 20-1 win over Baylor for Duke. And they're in the 8th inning in Greenville. North Carolina 3, East Carolina nothing in a battle of 11 v 12. And an in-state rivalry at that. The 2-2. Slider just missed away. Count goes full to 3-2. Not a bad idea there from Tonis. In Raleigh, 21st ranked NC State 11, Belmont 4. In Atlanta, Georgia Tech 12, Tennessee Tech 3. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Tonis back to the fastball. Sets down Dardar swinging. And that's the 10th strikeout for Virginia pitching in this game. 12 in game 1, now 10 in game 2. And with 1 out and a runner at first, and we'll bring Hayden Schott to the plate. Tonis from the belt. Stares down the runner at first, and now to the plate. And Schott pops it up foul back behind home plate. 0-1 the count. From Winston-Salem, 6th ranked Wake 18, Mount St. Mary's 2, a final there. Final from Louisville, it was 16th ranked Louisville 2, Bowling Green 1. Nail biter, but the Cards hang on for the win. Notre Dame comes back to beat UNC Greensboro 6-5 in Greensboro. So the Irish get a win there. 0-1 pitch, fouled off the end of the bat, and it's 0-2. Breaking ball from the left-hander Tonis. Lefty against lefty, and now Tonis way ahead of Hayden Schott, who was singled in each of his first couple of at-bats. Runner at first, one out, the 0-2 from Tonis. Wave and a miss and a breaking ball down and away. Schott is down swinging, and it's back-to-back Ks for Angelo Tonis. And 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Anton Lazitz now for Columbia, right-handed bat. And Tonis deals. Pitch that's fouled away to the right side and out of play. Fastball over the outside edge. Lazitz 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. He struck out 3 times in game 1. Runner at first base, 2 outs. As Blake singled to start the inning and is still over at first base. Fastball up and out. 1 ball and 1 strike. And again, Tonis was wondering whether they were going to hold him back for the matchups with the left-handed bats. Well, he fared very well on both of those, retiring each hitter by way of the strikeout. Pitch is swung on and popped up on the infield. Godbout tracking it, a winding route, and he's not going to get it. It bounces in, and the run's going to come in and score all the way from first. Godbout lost it. He was drifting back and forth trying to locate that high fly ball, and ultimately he did not grab it. And no way to score that but a base hit. Or beg your pardon, it will go down as an error. Initially they put up hit, and I was going to say, I guess, the rule of not touching it, but that is indeed an E4. I say a very tough break for Tonis there, but it will go down as an unearned run on a play that should have gotten him out of the inning, but not the case. And now he'll get a visit from Drew Dickinson. Well, again, with 2 outs, all Blake's got to do is put his head down and run, and that high fly ball gave him enough time to come around and score as it landed in and then bounced away from Henry Godbout. Now it's a 6-2 ball game. Home plate umpire Dave Soucy out to break up the visit between Dickinson and Tonis. And the 4th-year pitching coach, Illinois graduate, makes his way back to Virginia's dugout. Former Big Ten Pitcher of the Year, Drew Dickinson, 3rd-team All-American, while with the Illini. Now E.J. Krutzman fouls the first pitch back, and it's 0-1. 7 years of pro ball for Coach Dickinson. Made it all the way to Double-A. 28th round draft choice by the A's coming out of Illinois after his junior season. Went back to start his coaching career as a volunteer assistant and finished his degree while doing so. Back to the task at hand, then it is back to a lefty-lefty matchup with E.J. Krutzman, who is 0 for 2 in the ballgame with a couple of strikeouts. And Tonis ahead of him, 0-1. The pitch. Check swing and a ball off the plate away. Yes, he did, says third base umpire Jeff Doy. Krutzman leaned back in disbelief. But the count now 0-2 on the Columbia designated hitter, E.J. Krutzman. Ethan John Krutzman from San Diego. 0-2 pitch from Angelo Tonis. Runner goes from first, bounced it in. And standing up, Lazitz is going to get into scoring position. One ball, 2 strikes, the count to Krutzman. Krutzman actually a member of the Columbia football team in addition to baseball his first couple of years. He was about as decorated of a quarterback as you will find in high school football at La Jolla Country Day in California. Pitch from Tonis, just missed outside, maybe a little bit down as well. So 2-2. Set both the school and conference records for single season passing yards, touchdowns, completions, and completion percentage. 2-2 pitch. Check swing, yes he did. Teal will put the tag on him. That will retire the side. And Tonis strikes out the side here in the 6th inning. An unearned run in the mix in between, but 3 strikeouts for Angelo Tonis and now 12 for Virginia pitching. Through 5.5 innings in Charlottesville, it's Virginia 6, Columbia 2.
All right, friends, it's time to announce the winner of tonight's baseball bingo. Nathan Goldberg, you are tonight's winner. Nathan, please meet the marketing staff at the table next to the lineup board behind section 108 to claim your prize pack. Congratulations, Nathan Goldberg.
Derek Yu is the new pitcher for Columbia as we go to the bottom of the 6th. A 6-2 Virginia lead, and Yu is on for the first time this season. Junior righty from L.A., out of Loyola High School. Righty on the mound against the lefty Didowick at the plate. 8-9-1 for Virginia. As a pitch down for ball 1. Didowick, Godbout, and O'Farrell for Virginia. 8-9-1. Yu, a 6'1", 175-pound righty. As the pitch to Didowick is lined into right field. There's a base hit. And a leadoff single for Virginia here in the home half of the 6th. Godbout, who is 1 for 2 in the game with a 3-run homer, now coming to the plate. Batting out of the 9 spot. Third baseman Lazitz is in on the grass in front of third base. He does square, pulls it back, and takes a strike. And it's 0-1. Squares again. That one gets through the legs of Blackwell, the catcher, and all the way to the backstop. Up to second base goes Didowick. So on the wild pitch, Virginia has a man in scoring position with nobody out. And the 1-1 now to Godbout. Pulls a bunt third base side, but foul. And Didowick will retreat back to second base. Now the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. On Henry Godbout. Against the right-hander Derek Yu. 13 appearances last season, 1 as a starter for Yu. Wears number 30 for Columbia. Activity commencing behind him in the bullpen again. The 1-2. Godbout lines one down the left field line. If that's fair, it's trouble, and it is a fair ball. Didowick's going to cruise home to score. Godbout is in standing up at second with a double. Another RBI for Godbout, his 4th of the game and his 9th of the year. So 7-2 Wahoos now. And Virginia gets that run right back, and something poetic about Godbout getting the RBI after it was his error that allowed Columbia to score a run in the last half inning. Top of the order now for Griff O'Farrell. And he takes the fastball at the knees for a called strike. No balls, 1 strike to count. Still runner at second, nobody out. And the pitch. Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. In the Columbia bullpen, Brandon Madrigal is throwing. Look back to second, now the 1-1. Instead of spin and a throw that direction. Bounces away temporarily from Jack Cale, the second baseman, but not nearly far enough for any kind of advance out of Godbout from second. Virginia 7, Columbia 2. And this second game of the doubleheader, after Virginia took game 1 4-1. The 1-1 now to O'Farrell. Inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. O'Farrell looking for his first hit of the day. He is 0 for 6 across the doubleheader. Does have an RBI and a sacrifice fly in game 1. Base hit here could drive home a run. The 2-1. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. Yu missing with that breaking ball. Last year, 32 2/3 innings. Yu went 2-2 for Columbia. 21 strikeouts, 13 walks, and opponents hit .302 against him. From the belt, the 3-1. O'Farrell lines one over the head of the leaping third baseman Lazitz, and down the line for a base hit and for extra bases. In to score is Godbout. It's 8-2 Hoos now on the RBI double for Griff O'Farrell. He's got his 7th run batted into the season, and Virginia has a 6-run lead. Second double of the year for O'Farrell. O'Donnell 0 for 2 with a walk. And the pitch. Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Well, there had been activity in Virginia's bullpen. Huderovich last inning. It is all quiet out there right now. The 1-0. Upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes, which would lead you to believe Tonis is coming back out for at least another inning, or at least to start another inning, after a 22-pitch 6th inning. But he was a guy that could work multiple innings at a time for Georgetown. The 2-0 now to O'Donnell. Swung on, popped up, foul, and out of play to the left side. 2 balls, 1 strike. So 3 hits in the inning for Virginia to double their hit total for the game. Now 8 runs, still on only 6 hits. And a lot of walks that have factored in this one. Two balls, 1 strike to the left-hand hitting Ethan O'Donnell. Little check swing tapper back behind home plate. Not fully committed to that swing, and count evens at 2-2. And Derek Yu still in search of his first out of the inning. Bottom of the 6th, Virginia 8, Columbia 2. And Yu from the belt looks back to second, deals. Swung on, driven towards the left field corner, pretty well tagged, giving chase. The left fielder's not going to get there. It lands on a hop next to Hage. O'Farrell had to make sure it was going to get down, and he goes over to third base, but has to stop there. And O'Donnell is in with a stand-up double. His 3rd double of the year. Now Jake Geloff for Virginia. And the 4th hit of the inning, as Derek Yu has faced 4 batters and has given up 4 hits. And with Jake Geloff coming to the plate, see how much longer Columbia will stick with him, and they might not any longer. As here comes the Lions pitching coach, Tom Carty, who makes the visits to chat and the changes, so we'll have to wait and see. Brandon Madrigal had been throwing earlier in this inning. And actually, a pair of right-handers started throwing. Madrigal and Jafar Vora both throwing. It looks like Vora is actually the guy that has been left throwing, and he is the guy who will now get the call. So a pitching change. Tough outing for Derek Yu to start the season. He faces 4 batters. He gives up 4 hits. And new arm coming on for Columbia when we return. Virginia 8, Columbia 2 here in the last of the 6th inning. Pitcher number 4 of the evening for Columbia is senior right-hander Jafar Vora out of Shelton, Connecticut. 6'1", 205-pound righty takes over after Derek Yu failed to retire a batter. He faced 4. They all got base hits, and Virginia has tacked on 2 runs in this 6th inning and lead it 8-2. Still with runners at second and third and nobody out, Jake Geloff is the batter. Welcome to the game, Jafar Vora. Second and third, nobody out, and greeted by Jake Geloff. His first pitch is in there for a called strike at the knees, and it's 0-1. Vora missed all of last season due to injury, but one of the guys that Columbia supposedly high on out of their bullpen to be a big piece this year. Breaking ball smacked into left field. There's another base hit for the Who's. Home from third is O'Farrell. They will stop O'Donnell at third base. A hanging breaking ball, and Jake Geloff did not miss it. Geloff, an RBI, his 14th of the year. So runners at the corners with nobody out still, and 5 consecutive hits to start the inning for Virginia. 9-2, the Who's in front. And Madrigal resumes throwing in that Columbia bullpen yet again. Casey Sauke now for Virginia. And Vora from the belt deals way outside, 1-0. Vora is a Division III transfer from Clark University in Massachusetts, where he spent his first 3 seasons, 2019, 20, and 21. And then last year, again, missed the whole year at Columbia. Fastball misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Runners at the corners, nobody out. 2-0 pitch. Sauke drives it towards right center field, slicing towards the right fielder's shot. He's under it to make the catch. Plenty deep to get the man home from third as O'Donnell crosses the plate, and the Who's hit double digits. RBI on the sacrifice fly for Casey Sauke. That is still only the first out of the inning. Sauke has RBI number 6 on the year. 10-2, the Who's in front. Now Kyle Teal for Virginia, runner at first, 1 out. Vora's pitch to the backstop. And Geloff will trot up to second base on the wild pitch. And Teal, who has been on base all 3 times tonight, takes another one out of the zone, missing inside 2-0. Teal has been hit by a pitch, he has walked, and he has an RBI double. Virginia 10, Columbia 2, and another one upstairs. 3 balls, no strikes to Kyle Teal. Columbia pitching has walked 7 Virginia batters and plunked another. The bats now coming to life with 5 hits in this inning. 10 runs, 8 hits for the ball game. As Teal pops it up left side, foul ground for Lazitz, who has room to make the catch outside of third base. That is out number 2. And we'll get Ethan Anderson to the plate. Good to see the offense coming back to life after a quiet, relatively speaking, first game. They did put up 4 runs, but did so on only 5 hits. For a Virginia team that led the country in batting average and hits entering the weekend. A .446 collective batting average through the first 4 games of the year, and 74 hits for Virginia. Breaking ball high, it's 1-0. Virginia entered averaging more than 16 runs per game. The 1-0 pitch to Anderson. Swung on and skied right side. Playable for the second baseman, Kale, who is calling for it. Two-handed squeeze, and that will retire the side, but not before Virginia sends 8 men to the plate in the inning, and half of them come home to score. We go to the 7th after 6 complete in Charlottesville. It's Virginia 10, Columbia 2.
All right, fans, turn your attention to Bullpen for tonight's Saber Scramble.
On to the 7th, the new pitcher for Virginia is the right-hander Jake Huderovich. The 4th year from Scott Township, Pennsylvania, is on for the 2nd time this season, as Huderovich worked an inning against Ohio last Saturday in Wilmington, allowing a run on 2 hits. He now faces the bottom third of the Columbia lineup, Selinsky, Blackwell, and Kale, the scheduled hitters. 93-mile-an-hour fastball to pop the mitt of Kyle Teal for strike 1. And it's 0-1 on Sky Selinsky. Virginia with 4 runs home last half inning, and all of a sudden a different feel to this ball game. 10-2, the Who's in front. 0-1 fouled back, and it's 0-2. 6-inning totals for Columbia. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. 4 runners left on base. 2 of those 4 left in scoring position. For Virginia, 10 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. 5 runners left on base. And somewhat of a statistical anomaly, all 5 of those runners have been left on base tonight, have been left in scoring position. Breaking ball wide from Huderovich, and it's 1-2. Righty against righty. As Huderovich back into the windup, the pitch. Fastball grounded left side. Diving attempt by O'Farrell, gets under his glove and into left field. And a base hit to start the 7th for Sky Selinsky.
Batting for Columbia, the pitcher, number 43, Miles Blackwell.
As he's able to turn around a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Now Miles Blackwell once again for Columbia, getting his first start of the season. Last year, 12 games, 2 of them as a starter. And now, I guess, is going to be the primary backup to Weston Everly. Fastball outside, 1-0. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk in this game in his first start of the season. Last year for Blackwell, 13 at-bats, 6 hits, including a double. Righty against righty, runner at first, nobody out. And the pitch from Huterovich, right there for a called strike, 1-1. Cavaliers starter Brian Edgington tonight, 5 innings, 1 run on 4 hits. He walked 1, struck out 9. A lot of strikeouts from Virginia pitching over the course of the doubleheader. They have struck out 24 batters, 12 in game 1, 12 so far in game 2. The 1-1. That one gets through the legs of Teal. A wild pitch will allow Selinsky to move up to second base. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Now the pitch. Swung on and popped up on the infield. Looks like Geloff from third racing it down. And then Teal deflects it into foul territory. But it is a fair ball. Indecision between Teal and Geloff, who was going to take charge on another high fly ball in the infield. It ended up sort of halfway between the pitcher's mound and home plate. Geloff and Teal ended up staring at one another. Teal could not squeeze it cleanly, but he did almost pass it or try to pass it over to Geloff in foul territory. But it landed in, and we have now seen 2 very odd pop flies on the infield. Jack Cale, the batter, runners at the corners, nobody out. And that goes down as a single. So runners at the corners, nobody out, and a fastball high. 2 balls, no strikes. And again, Selinsky ends up all the way at third on the play. What an odd play. We saw last inning Blake score from first on the drop pop fly. And now Columbia set up nicely again. Fastball low, 3 balls, no strikes. Looks like that will prompt some activity in the Virginia bullpen again. Kyle Teal will slowly walk out of the mound now to buy some time. See who's going to start throwing out there for Virginia. Looks like Evan Blanco, left-hander, now getting up and loose. Still nobody out in this 7th inning, and you just don't want it to get away from Virginia. As the home plate umpire out to break up the visit. Blanco trying to get loose quickly. We saw him for an inning last weekend, looked very good in his Cavalier debut against Ohio. See if Huterovich can settle down now. 3 balls, no strikes on Jack Cale, the 9-spot hitter. Top of the order, and Hage waits on deck. And there's a fastball strike. 3-1. Again, one benefit for both bullpens is the fact that they have tomorrow off. And the 3-1 misses upstairs, ball 4. That will load the bases. So 2 singles, one of which was the dropped pop fly on the infield and a walk. Have filled the bases with Lions with nobody out in this top of the 7th. Cole Hage, the batter for Columbia. See if Huterovich can fight his way through this. Righty's pitch. Fastball high. 1 ball, no strikes. Last year for Huderovich, 16 relief appearances, 19 and a third innings. He struck out 24, walked 12. Now set with the 1-0. And drops in a slider for a strike, 1-1. Opponents hit just .203 against him. Obviously a little bit of tough luck in this inning, the way it is unfolded. The 1-1. And fastball for strike two called. 1-2 the count. Bases loaded, nobody out. 1-2 pitch from Huderovich. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Set him down with a fastball. What a time for Jake Huderovich's first strikeout of the game. Maybe that'll get a hold on this inning now, as Cole Hage is set down on strikes. Andy Blake is the batter. After Blake, consecutive lefties in Dardar and Hayden shot, and again, the left-hander Blanco is throwing in Virginia's bullpen. Bases loaded, one out. The pitch from Huderovich. Breaking ball, strike, and it's 0-1. Four appearances for Huderovich his first year in 2020 in that abbreviated season. Missed the 2021 season and came back last year with 16 relief appearances. Fastball spiked in, blocked by Teal. Long day's work for Kyle Teal behind the plate. And it's 1-1. Mentioned before about the benefit to each bullpen of the built-in day off tomorrow, but you could say the same about Kyle Teal behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to Andy Blake, who is 1 for 3 in the ball game. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Huderovich blew a fastball by him. 1-2 the count. Solinsky at third. Blackwell at second. Kale at first with 1 out. 10-2, Virginia in front in the 7th. And the pitch. Popped up right center field. Playable for Sauke. And he will fire towards the plate as the runner tags. Throw comes through, but not in time. Sacrifice fly for Andy Blake, as he gets it deep enough to drive home the lead runner Solinsky from third and make it a 10-3 ball game. And Blake has his first RBI of the season. So now first and second, 2 outs. Kyle Teal from behind home plate to set the defensive alignment. 3 runs, 7 hits for Columbia. 10 runs, 8 hits for Virginia. Seth Dardar, the batter, he is 1 for 3. Huderovich will look back to second. And the pitch skips in. 1 ball, no strikes. Dardar 1 for 3 in the game. Single in the first. Since then has struck out a couple of times. Fastball right there for a strike. That'll even the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Wonder if Huderovich, for whatever reason, cannot get Dardar to end the inning. If Virginia would go to the bullpen for left on left with shot on deck. Big swing and a miss. That time from Dardar, to 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Jake Huderovich. And now 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. 2 outs, runners at first and second for Columbia. And the 1-2 pitch from Huderovich. Fouled back, 91 bearing down on his hands. And Dardar able to fight it off to extend the AB. Blackwell at second, reaching on that dropped pop fly on the infield. Kale at first, he walked. 2 outs, top of 7. The pitch from Huderovich is a little high. Certainly didn't miss by much, but Huderovich not getting the call when it's 2-2. And the pitch, swing and a miss, and a ball in the dirt gets him this time on an off-speed pitch. And the second strikeout of the inning for Jake Huderovich will strand runners at first and second. So Columbia gets 1 run in the inning on the sacrifice fly. And at the end of 6.5 innings of play, stand up and stretch from Disharoon Park. We go to the bottom half of the 7th. Virginia 10, Columbia 3.
The 7th inning stretch is presented by the Joint Chiropractic.
All stretched out from Davenport Field at Disharoon Park. Channing Poole back with you once again from high atop the field, where Virginia leads this game 10-3. And it also appears as though Virginia is going to turn to a pinch hitter now, as we go to the 7th and hit the DH spot in the lineup. Virginia will play the matchup. Left-hander Chris Baker get an opportunity to bat against the right-hander Jafar Vora, who is back out and missing outside, 1-0. Baker on the season, 3 hits in 5 at-bats. 2 of those 3 hits have been doubles. And the 1-0 pitch downstairs, 2-0. Baker, Division III transfer from Washington College in Maryland. The 2-0 pitch, fouled straight back, 2-1. Vora did not start the 6th inning, but he did record all 3 necessary outs in the frame after Derek Yu failed to record an out. Next pitch to Baker outside. So 3 balls and a strike. Virginia in front 10-3, thanks in large part to a big 4-run 6th inning. Baker takes strike 2 call just as he was about to toss the bat. Told to stay put by Dave Susi, the home plate umpire. Baker, then Didowick and Godbout for the Who's. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball got him. So the pinch hitter Baker is retired, and there's 1 away now for Harrison Didowick.
Batting for your Cavaliers, left fielder number 34, Harrison Didowick.
right-hander Vora deals. A little bit down, 1 ball, no strikes. And Vora coming to Columbia by way of Clark University in Worcester, Massachusetts. Division III school. Spent 3 years with the Cougars. Didowick skies it towards left field. Charging in, Hage is under it. And he will make the catch for out number 2. So 2 outs, bases clear now for Henry Godbout. Career got off to a great start in both 2019 and 2020. At Clark, the Division III program. Now Godbout, a couple of extra base hits already. Skies one right side, slicing foul, and will get out of play. And the count 0-1. Clark's 2021 season was another abbreviated season. A lot of their games canceled front half of the year by the pandemic. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Still to be able to pitch it all better than Columbia, as the Ivy League had their entire 2021 season canceled after the 2020 season obviously was brought to a quick halt. Godbout lines one into center field. He's got himself another base hit. It's a 3-hit ball game for Henry Godbout. It was now a triple shy of the cycle.
Batting for your Cavaliers, the shortstop, number 6, Griff O'Farrell.
And it gets Virginia back to the top of the order now with Griff O'Farrell. Two outs, runner at first. Left-hander Blanco back up and throwing in Virginia's bullpen. 10-3, the Who's lead in the 7th. And from the belt, righty deals a called strike over the outside edge. 0-1. O'Farrell doubled home a run as part of Virginia's 4-run 6th. And Vora now from the belt deals. Grounded towards third, backhanded by the third baseman. Long throw for Lazitz, and it bounces away from the first baseman Dardar. And the inning will continue. Godbout up to second as O'Farrell reaches on the error, and that is the first error of the ball game for Columbia, an E5. Again, Columbia committing 3 in the first game of this doubleheader. Now Ethan O'Donnell gets an at-bat in this inning because of the error. Fastball away, 1 ball, no strikes. Vora actually comes from a baseball family. His dad played at Sacred Heart University, the Pioneers in Fairfield, Connecticut. 1-0 pitch. Bounced in, 2 balls, no strikes. They play out of the NEC, but the time when his dad was playing for Sacred Heart in the 80s, they were still a Division II program. Hitters count for O'Donnell, 2 balls, no strikes. Vora deals, and a called strike, 2-1. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. 2-1 pitch to O'Donnell is taken for strike 2 called. So again for Virginia, Godbout at second, O'Farrell at first. And the pitch down and away. That will run the count full, and so runners will be off with the pitch. And from the belt, Vora sets, deals, and it's fouled back. We will reset and do it again. Now, speaking of the NEC, I thought Bryant was an NEC member. I guess they just recently left as part of all the never-ending conference realignment. Nevertheless, they beat Virginia Tech tonight in Blacksburg. Speaking of more good news, base hit for O'Donnell here through the right side of the infield. That will drive home Henry Godbout. Virginia capitalizing on the Columbia error and tack on another insurance run. It is 11-3, the Who's lead. O'Farrell goes first to third on the play. RBI single for O'Donnell. His fifth run batted in of the season. And gets Jake Geloff to the plate. Geloff looking to launch. Spun himself down to the ground with a big swing. And the count 0-1. Virginia 11, Columbia 3, and that hit from O'Donnell also Virginia's 10th hit of the ball game. Now the 0-1, swing and a miss. Geloff chasing a fastball, looked to be maybe just up and out of the zone. And Geloff swings at the next one, smacks it to center field, but it will be handled by Selinsky, the center fielder. And the side is retired. Virginia tacks on a run thanks to the error. And Virginia now, after 7 complete innings of play, leading Columbia 11-3. After an impressive debut against Ohio last weekend, we now get our second look at Evan Blanco, first-year left-hander, takes over on the mound for Virginia as we go to the 8th. 3 runs, 7 hits for Columbia, 11 runs, 10 hits for Virginia as they look to sweep this doubleheader today. Hayden Schott, the first batter that Blanco faces, and a fastball missing down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Schott, Lazitz, and Krutzman. 4-5-6, middle third of this Columbia lineup. 1-0 pitch is cut on and missed. Fastball from Blanco, and it's 1-1. Lefty out of Woburn, Massachusetts, and Austin Prep. 6-foot-tall southpaw, works off the third base side of the rubber. 1-1, late swing and a miss from Schott, and it's 1-2. Blanco, the 4th pitcher used by Virginia. Starter Brian Edgington went the first 5 innings and struck out 9. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball misses way outside, 2-2. Angelo Tonis for an inning allowed 1 unearned run. Jay Kuderovich for an inning allowed 1 earned run. And now Evan Blanco. Virginia 4-1 winners in game 1 earlier today. Day off tomorrow before back at it Sunday. Fastball a little bit low there. That'll run the count full 3-2. 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Blanco, but down beneath the strike zone. And the pitch is popped up on the infield. Looks like O'Farrell is going to take charge. 2-hand catch. Hey, the way things have gone tonight, why not be sure? Schott is retired, and there's 1 away. A wild result from Greenville, North Carolina tonight. UNC had been leading East Carolina 3-0 for basically the entire game. In the bottom of the 8th, East Carolina puts up 6 runs. And they come back to beat North Carolina 6-5. It's the 11th ranked Pirates get a 6-5 win over the 12th ranked Tar Heels. And I can only imagine what the scene was like in Greenville this evening as the Pirates mounted that comeback. Pitch a called strike, and it's 0-1. Pinch hitter for Columbia here, Cole Fellows, gets an opportunity off the bench. 0-1 breaking ball in there for a strike. Fellows, a freshman from Clovis, California, making his collegiate debut here. 0-2 pitch that bounced in. So the day presumably done for Lazitz. 0 for 3 in this game after going 1 for 4 earlier. 1 for 7 with 5 strikeouts on the day. Ground ball back up the middle and through for a base hit as Cole Fellows has himself a single. So a successful collegiate debut for Fellows there. And now E.J. Krutzman will get an at-bat here in the 8th. 1 out, runner aboard for Columbia. And Evan Blanco working for Virginia. And the pitch missing off the plate away, 1-0. Well, they are just recently underway in Fort Worth. It's Florida State and TCU in what should be a good weekend of baseball. In the 3rd, no score, FSU and TCU. Breaking ball misses outside, 2-0. In terms of winners from the ACC earlier today, Boston College beat Bucknell, Pitt beat Harvard, Georgia Tech over Tennessee Tech. Obviously, Virginia, the 4-1 win over Columbia. Wake beat Mount St. Mary's, Louisville over Bowling Green. Duke tops Baylor, NC State beats Belmont. Fastball missing away, 3 balls, no strikes. Notre Dame, a comeback win over UNC Greensboro. Losses tonight for, again, North Carolina as ECU completes the comeback. Virginia Tech loses to Bryant. Swing and a miss at a fastball there. 3 balls and 1 strike. And then action underway as we speak. Wake and Binghamton. As Wake hosting multiple teams in Winston-Salem, and Wake playing 2 tonight. They lead Binghamton 3-0 in the 4th. Mentioned Florida State, TCU. Also UCF and Clemson tied at 2 late in that game. Pitch to Krutzman, swung on, popped up left side, foul ground, long run for Geloff. And he's able to make a basket-style over-the-shoulder catch for the 2nd out. What a play from Jake Geloff. Back to the diamond. Somehow hangs on. Put a star by that one. Great running play right up against the tarp. And that is the 2nd out here in the 8th. Sky Solinsky, the batter, with a runner at first base and 2 outs. Blanco's pitch inside corner with a fastball for a called strike. More activity in the Columbia bullpen. Thomas Santana is throwing. And in the Virginia bullpen, Jay Woolfolk is throwing. And I guess make sure to get him some additional work. The 0-1. Snaps off a breaking ball for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Blanco looking to put up a 0 here in the 8th. 2 outs, runner at first base. Game 2 of this doubleheader. Offense coming to life here in Game 2 for Virginia. The 0-2 pitch. Upstairs with a fastball, 1-2. Blanco, the Boston Globe Athlete of the Year last year as a senior at Austin Prep. Kicks, deals. 1-2, yes he did, over top of a breaking ball. And Blanco has his first strikeout. And that'll punctuate the 8th in style. Runner left at first base for Columbia, and a scoreless 8th inning of work for Evan Blanco. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Virginia 11, Columbia 3.
Sign up your child to be a member of Capman's crew and receive up to 2 free general admission tickets to all Saturday baseball games at Dishwood Park. Membership is free. That's right. Sign your child up for free, and you're able to claim 2 free tickets to all Saturday Virginia baseball games at home. Visit virginiasports.com/Capman's crew to learn more. Defensive changes for Columbia. Now in first base, number 3, Cole Fellows. Now in third base, number 13, Seth Garbo.
Cavaliers 3 outs away from sweeping today's doubleheader over Columbia. First things first, looking for a little insurance here in the last of the 8th inning. Cavaliers 11, Lions 3, and Thomas Santana is the new pitcher and the 5th pitcher of the day for Columbia. Freshman making his collegiate debut out of the Pingree School in New Jersey. He'll face Casey Sauke, Kyle Teal, Ethan Anderson for Virginia. First pitch swinging. Sauke skies one into shallow center. Kale retreating back from second. Lost his cap but makes the catch. And there's one away. Now Kyle Teal is going to be called back for a pinch hitter. So he will get 1 inning off behind the plate tonight. And I'm sure he fought even that. Travis Reef-Snyder is going to be the pinch hitter for Virginia here in the 8th. Jay Woolfolk continues to throw in the Virginia bullpen. It appears he will have the 9th even in this lopsided affair. Pitch to Reef-Snyder. Swung on, fouled back. Reef-Snyder so far this season is 0 for 6. Does have a walk and a hit by pitch, but looking for his first hit as a Wahoo. And the 0-1. Inside out at left side. Going to be a very long run for Cole Hage, the left fielder, and he's not going to get to it. It dunks in between Hage and the shortstop. Ball pops away from the second baseman Kale, but only for a moment. So Reef-Snyder gets a blue base hit, and now Ethan Anderson will bat for Virginia. And Anderson, switch hitter, batting left against the right-hander Santana, who misses outside with a fastball 1-0. Santana led the Pingree School, the Big Blue, to the 2022 Prep A title. First team All-Skyland Conference. 1-0 pitch. This is downstairs, 2-0. Posted an ERA of 1.84 and had 70 strikeouts over his 38 and 2/3 innings of work last year. 6 foot 1 inch, 180-pound righty making his collegiate debut for Columbia. Checks on the runner at first, close, but Reef-Snyder back in, goes back in standing up. So far it appears that as the pitch bounced foul, and the count 2-1. The only change from a Virginia standpoint is Reef-Snyder taking over for Teal. 11-3 Virginia leads. Reef-Snyder aboard at first with 1 out. And the 2-1 pitch now to Ethan Anderson. Popped him up left side, foul ground. Is there room for Dardar, the third baseman? There is room, and he does make the catch in the coach's box. Almost ran around it. By the way, should have mentioned before that Dardar moved from first to third as Cole Fellows, the pinch hitter from last half inning, remains on to play first base. Now Chris Baker going to get his second at-bat of the ball game after pinch hitting in the 7th. Bats 2 outs here in the 8th. The pitch way outside from Santana. 1 ball, no strikes. Ogden, Tucker, Yu, Vora, and now Santana for Columbia to navigate game 2 of the doubleheader. 1-0 pitch to Baker. Popped up, back behind home plate. Looks to be out of play. And indeed it is, with a loud thud on top of the overhang. Baker again had gotten off to a hot start off the bench for Virginia, 3 for 5. He's 0 for 1 so far today, but 3 for 5 with 5 RBIs already for the D3 transfer. Left-hand hitter and New Jersey native. Waits on the 1-1 from fellow New Jersey native Thomas Santana. Bounces it up the first baseline, and it's going to be fielded by the first baseman Fellows, who just slaps a tag on the oncoming Baker, and that will retire the side. So a one-out single, nothing further. And now Virginia 3 outs away from sweeping this doubleheader. And it will be Jay Woolfolk coming on to try and finish the job. After 8 complete at Disharoon Park, Virginia 11, Columbia 3. 3 outs away from a doubleheader sweep. Virginia will turn to Jay Woolfolk to try and lock it down, even with the game seemingly in hand. 11-3, Virginia in front of the visiting Lions. And we might see some pinch hitters, but for now, Miles Blackwell will bat for himself. And the first pitch from Woolfolk bounces in. 1 ball, no strikes. Blackwell is 1 for 2 with a walk in this game. 94-mile-an-hour fastball for strike. And that will even up the count. Woolfolk, 28 appearances last year, tied for the team lead for Virginia. Swing and a miss and a good slider there, and it's 1-2. Made his season debut in the 7-0 win over UNC Wilmington last Sunday. Talk about a dynamic inning. Retired all 3 batters that he faced. 1-2 here, bounced over towards third, a foul ball. He struck out 2 of the 3 batters that he faced. He threw 10 pitches, 9 strikes. He's ahead of Blackwell 1-2 now. I mean, it was utterly dominant. Blackwell, Kale, and Hage, the scheduled batters in this inning. Now the 1-2 from Woolfolk. Slider, thought about it, did not offer, and it's 2-2. I think Blackwell was just thankful that ball did not drop into the strike zone because he appeared to be fooled by the pitch. Now the 2-2 from Woolfolk. Back to the fastball, strike 3. Overmatched there, Woolfolk gets his man, and there's 1 away here in the ninth. And now a pinch hitter for Columbia. Kyle Corso is going to bat in the place of Jack Cale. So Corso, sophomore from Wayne, New Jersey, will bat. Fastball from Woolfolk at 95 for a called strike. Woolfolk, righty against righty, deals a slider, swung on and missed. Well, after 95, he had Corso way in front of 85. Corso just 1 for 5 last season. 1 out, base is empty. And Woolfolk readies. Long pause, now the 0-2. That's downstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Woolfolk ready to go. And his 1-2 pitch to the pinch hitter Corso. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball by him at 94, and the Who's are now 1 out away. As Woolfolk has struck out the first 2 batters he has faced. And now Cole Hage called back for a pinch hitter. John Sanjul will bat. Sanjul, senior from San Luis Obispo, California, takes a fastball down 1-0. Jay Woolfolk has now faced 5 batters this season and has struck out 4 of them. The right-hander's 1-0 pitch to Sanjul is a little bit low. 2 balls, no strikes. 16 games, just 1 start last year for Sanjul. He hit .250, 3 hits in 12 at-bats. The 2-0 pitch now from Woolfolk. Over but low, 3 balls and no strikes. He has missed on 3 consecutive pitches to Sanjul for whatever reason. See if he can climb back into the count now. He does, and it's a bouncing ball out towards O'Farrell at short. Fires across to first, and that'll do it. Virginia sweeps the doubleheader from Columbia, taking the nightcap by an 11-3 final score. Virginia taking game 1 4-1. The offense comes to life here in game 2, and Virginia will look for a series sweep of Columbia when we get to the Sunday finale. A Cavalier club taking both ends of the doubleheader, and their first sweep since the 2021 Columbia Regional, when it first eliminated South Carolina and then defeated ODU. In terms of the regular season, last time Virginia swept the doubleheader all the way back in 2019 against Villanova. Today, the opponent Columbia, who drops to 0-2 to start the season, while Virginia is off to a 6-0 start to the year. Virginia, again, a strong start to 2023. And now under Brian O'Connor for the 8th time, are a perfect 6-0 to start the year. The win will go to Brian Edgington, and he is 2-0. And the loss will go to Columbia starter J.D. Ogden, who is 0-1. It was a ball game that, with a start time of 5:22, will have taken 3 hours and 13 minutes to be played. And the Cavaliers again win it 11-3. 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 7 left for Columbia. 11 runs, 11 hits, 1 errors, 8 left on base for Virginia. And again, the Wahoos are off to a 6-0 start. That'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Big thanks to everybody who helped make both of our broadcasts today possible. And for everybody involved, I'm Channing Poole saying I hope you enjoyed the broadcasts, and I know you enjoyed the results. Once again, our final scores from today's doubleheader: in Game 1, Virginia 4, Columbia 1, and in Game 2, Virginia 11, Columbia 3. Until Sunday for a 1 o'clock start time with the series finale. Until that time, thanks so much for listening, everybody.